not disbanding the president of the Matt Riddle fan club.
Oh, God.
This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Wave your hands from side to side.
Oh no!
Say, we believe in
I
Joe
said good
Hendry.
day.
Oh, my
We
God.
believe in Joe Hendry.
Oh dear God!
Yeah, welcome in. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Ace, and you're watching another episode of Between the Ropes, or we can change it to We Believe in Joe Hendry.
No, it is that.
No, dear God, no.
All right. Well, anyway,
No.
Thomas, what is going on? Hello, welcome in. Let me introduce all my co-hosts for the evening. We'll start out with that man that we call Crispy Bacon. Crispy, how are you doing tonight, my man?
I'm good. Good week of wrestling. Chaotic week, and all I know is I believe.
Is it even Thomas believes
See,
in Joe
it's not
Hendry?
even that hard to sit here and say that you believe in Joe Hendry,
That
because
is true.
it's easy to say I believe in
Yeah.
Joe Hendry. All right, Big B, welcome in. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. I mean, it was a great week of wrestling, except for the tickets are sold during the Kentucky Derby, which we'll get to later.
Yeah.
I know that's what everybody's here to witness. But
Right.
outside that, I can't wait to get started.
Oh, I love it, Thomas. Yes, his apology concert was so awesome. I loved it.
Oh wow.
I knew he was going to be sarcastic about it, but it was great. It was still the apology was fantastic. Anyway, Christy Wilson, how are you doing tonight?
Doing good. Eager to talk about wrestling and what Big B's probably going to be ranting about in today's show.
So, what do you want to talk about?
And then, of course, Mr. Round Dave, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah.
Dude, I am fan-freaking-tastic. I'm at work, getting paid to do this right now. So, yeah, let's do it.
All right, I love it. All right, and then Mr. Dragon, I believe in Joe Hendry.
I believe I can fly.
With us tonight. So, Dragon Viper, how are you doing tonight?
Well, besides feeling like I'm in the land of the oddities here tonight, I'm doing
You
okay.
are an
Ready to talk some wrestling.
Oh boy.
Right.
Oh.
So yes, Thomas is with me tonight on this Joe Hendry thing. So first off, Dragon Viper does not want to acknowledge his tribal chief, which is
Acknowledge me.
not okay. Okay.
Nope.
He needs to acknowledge his tribal chief.
Nope.
Him.
Dominic Mysterio.
Him.
And then number 2, he's got to believe in Joe Hendry.
Um,
And then number 3, as Tim Hendricks says, he walks with Dirty Dom.
oh my God.
There you go.
Colin McClurg. Where are you?
Feels like this is the late '90s, and I'm dealing with the oddities here.
All right.
It's all you on the show. What are you talking about?
Oh, dear God.
It's okay. We are going to have some fun tonight. You know why? Because we're going to talk about Backlash. And I'll tell you what. First off, the first thing that I want to talk about Backlash right off the bat, that freaking France crowd was unbelievable.
Awesome.
Like,
my boy Randy Orton, that was awesome.
Like, I will honestly tell you right now, I think this France crowd, I think you could have taken freaking Hornswoggle and put him against El Torito, and this France crowd would have went nuts for it. Honestly,
yeah, I mean,
I really do.
Did you see the looks on Kevin Owens and Randy Orton's faces before the first match? They were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
they couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, I think you could have put anybody out there, and this France crowd would have went nuts.
Oh god, they were
like
so
Goldberg.
I don't know about that.
Or Gilbert.
No,
Randy out there might not be a good deal.
That's the one.
There's Alan.
There we
Dominic
go.
Mysterio. Dominic
Oh,
Mysterio. Yeah.
Alan.
Yeah, it was great though. Like, that is legitimately the first time you've ever heard a whole crowd singing Randy Orton's theme song.
Oh,
Right?
they were singing Cody Rhodes' song too, and even
Yeah,
AJ Styles. They were into it.
Oh yeah, it was.
I bet you if Dominic was tried to talk, he would probably got to talk this time.
Oh yeah, well yeah, exactly. He probably would have. And even they were all over Jey Uso's entrance. They
they were like
loved his entrance.
Oh, they had the
Absolutely.
they turned the flashlights on the cell phones. They were into it. It was nuts.
Yeah, and so Thomas is saying they should have had AJ win by DQ so the crowd could keep singing their song.
No.
It was.
No.
I'm just saying. So Backlash, this pay-per-view, I will say I thoroughly enjoyed the whole way through because the crowd, the matches were great. The crowd was great. I just thoroughly enjoyed this pay-per-view all the way through. It was fan-freaking-tastic.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's go ahead and get some matches pulled up here. So let me pull it up here. Boop. All right. So let's go ahead and pull up that first match. KO and Randy Orton versus the good old Bloodline right there.
It's not the Bloodline we all know it to be. It's a little different.
And we saw that Tonga's brother debuted. Tongaloa debuted. And what's so funny about this is, like, people were expecting Jacob Fatu to come out, and he's not even the one who came out.
No,
I was expecting it.
The funny I heard this about Jacob Fatu, and the reason he didn't show up in France was supposedly he has a prior conviction for armed robbery and can't travel outside the United States.
Oh yeah.
That was like when he was a teenager. He did something stupid and got in major trouble for it.
Yes, the losing streak is over, Thomas. The losing streak is over. The losing streak is over. It is absolutely. But so Christy, I'll start with you on this one. This first match knocked it out of the park. This tag team match was freaking incredible. It was off the charts.
Yeah, what really got me excited about Nick Aldis coming out and saying, "You want to disregard the rules? Okay, we're gonna throw the rules out. It's gonna be no DQ. It's gonna be a street fight." I'm like, "Oh, it's on now." Because once it became a street fight, I was into it.
Oh yeah, it was
so much fun.
Yeah, it was a freaking incredible match. It was something that match lived up to exactly what it was supposed to be.
Hard hitting and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Loved it.
Is Mess Around there, or did he?
Hey, what are you doing? He can't have the show without me.
There he is.
Oh, we
I
can.
think he's coming
Mess
back.
Around. What was your thoughts on this awesome freaking tag team match?
It's funny. I didn't even watch that, man. I totally missed it.
Oh,
Really?
man.
Oh,
Yeah.
You missed a good one.
It was a street fight.
And that was my boy, too. Word. I never missed the match, but I totally forgot it was on.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I should remember right when that match ended.
Oh, well, we can move on then. We'll come back to you after that. Dragon Viper, what was your thoughts on the tag match?
I think it was a good idea to have it, hard, kind of a hardcore match, anything goes kind of thing.
Street fight.
Yeah, street fight. Any match that Orton's in, I think is a good match. He does well, in a tag team or even alone. But I thought it was a good match. I didn't like the results, but overall, good match. Good to see Randy Orton, in the ring. So
Yeah.
And even Thomas is saying that Tonga Loa messed up his debut. Yeah, because he was
How
just
did
a
he do
little
that?
behind. Well, he was just, if you watch it from the side angle,
Mhm.
like they showed it from a fan angle that was recording it,
Yeah.
and he was just a little late on the foot pull on the referee. So
Okay, I didn't see that part.
yeah. So he came out just a little late, but the referee was starting to slide out just in time as Tonga had grabbed him. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so it was a little late, but still, it was still a fantastic match.
Yeah.
Big
Top to
B.
bottom, amazing.
Yeah, I mean, any type of no hold bar, no DQ matches are always great. I kind of figured that was going to be the case. I didn't think it was going to start right away like it did. I thought we'd have a normal match, and then a brawl would break out, and then Nick Aldis would come out and say it's a no DQ match. Let's get it on type of thing. But yeah, Bloodline won. A+ match for me. If RK Cole would have won, it would have been an F.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. So he's saying, the ref had to stop the count as he was about to hit 3. Yeah, because Tonga was just a little late too. But that's okay because that, like, a lot of people probably didn't realize that, and so the match was still just an incredible match. Crispy Bacon, what was your thoughts on the tag match?
Like you said at the beginning of the show, the crowd was really into it. I mean, at the start of the pay-per-view, even Michael Cole was saying that his Apple Watch was, going crazy with the decibel level of it.
Oh, God,
And
it was
then-
loud.
And then you had, everybody singing Randy's theme song and, even getting into it with Kevin Owens. And then, the match started and you're like, okay, it's going to be a regular match. Didn't start out that way. All just came out and said, hey, it's a street fight. Anything goes, basically. And we basically had anything and everything happen. Maybe the end result didn't turn out the way we thought it would. I thought Kevin Owens was going to, and Randy was going to win this match. But it was a great match overall. I think the crowd was really hyped, and that helped a lot, too.
The two people, and I know both of them couldn't be there because of injuries, but the two that I was like, dang, there was two wrestlers that I'm like, CM Punk and Seth Rollins. I could imagine how the crowd would have just been singing their songs like crazy.
Would have lost it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they would have been.
Yeah. But we know where Rollins was at the Kentucky Derby with his wife, Becky.
Yeah.
And CM Punk was trapped in the Performance Center.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, but that's why everyone says a crowd like that just makes it so much better.
It outdid Puerto Rico last year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, God.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was fire too, but I can't really compare either one.
But I'll tell you,
both backlashes were amazing.
The one thing, like throughout the thing, I was trying to figure out a few times, like what the crowd was chanting a few times, because they were chanting some stuff in French that that the wife and the kids were like, well, what are they saying? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe this is awesome or something. I don't know.
I'm thinking that's what they were saying in French is this is awesome, but they were saying it in French.
And I think when they did the count, they did it in French too.
They did.
Yeah. I was just trying to figure it out though. So I think most of the time that they were saying this is awesome, but I wasn't 100% sure.
They're chanting for Goldberg to come out.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me with the way the crowd was. They could have been cheering for anybody.
They'd have been cheering for Sting and he would have came out.
Yeah.
He would have lost it.
I did hear at one point, we want Roman.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was.
I did hear that.
I did understand.
For Roman.
That one I did understand. I did understand because that one wasn't in French, but most of the other stuff was. So I was trying to understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
They knew they weren't saying we want to mess around. We want to mess around.
Yeah, right.
Was they were saying they were talking about JD McDonough at one point too. I could understand that one.
They were probably swearing at him. And they were probably calling him dirty names in French.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah,
they
absolutely.
Were probably also cursing at him in French too.
Oh yeah.
Thomas Vanessa said, I can't wait for the Gorillas of Destiny to go up against the Usos. That's if Jimmy and Jay decide to reunite. That's when I think that might happen.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
it's happening.
Well,
Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa.
Well, I think it will happen because of the simple fact
It's not
that
a series.
at War Games it's going to be the new bloodline versus the
old
the
bloodline.
War Games.
bloodline. Yeah. So I think it'll end up going like that.
Yeah.
Oh, they will definitely reunite. Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean,
well, yeah, because even though they wrestled at WrestleMania, you know, Jay and Jimmy will probably be like, "Hey, our brothers, and we do need to take these guys down."
Yeah.
So I get it. All right, so going into our next match, the triple threat match: Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton. The one thing that I do want to say about this off the bat is you can agree with me or disagree. That's fine. But I'm telling you right now, Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, boy.
Tiffany Stratton is a 100% star.
Yep.
Tiffany Stratton is a star in the making 100%. She is so freaking talented. It would not surprise me if she's the future of this division. That is Tiffany Stratton. That's who Tiffany Stratton is.
She most likely is. I agree.
Who?
Her and Jade.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Tiffany and Jade.
Mess around. What'd you think of this match?
I really like it. I wanted Tiffany Stratton to win, but I knew it was going to happen because, you know, Bayley just got the belt. And they're not going to take it off of her that soon. But, you know, for what it was, good match. I really don't pay attention to women's matches, but I should.
I was going to say,
break.
Oh, God.
Well, none of my girls were in it.
Oh, jeez. I was thinking you'd be looking at any one of these, like especially Tiffany, and go, ooh la la.
There was no Liv, there was no Cora, there was no Dakota.
No.
Sorry.
And there's no Lexa.
No.
Right?
Not yet.
I don't know.
So you know what that equals? Not very good. No, it was a good match. I liked it.
Yeah, she could win.
Definitely.
Money in the Bank. It depends on if they want to put the briefcase, let her be Miss Money in the Bank. It's her. It's her choice.
Well, as we're watching, this pay-per-view, like I knew that Bayley had just got the belt, and I was okay with Bayley retaining it. I was completely okay with that. But I told the wife too. I was like, if Tiffany won, I wouldn't have been angry. I would
not at all.
I wouldn't have been mad if any of them won.
I would have been okay with it because just how far Tiffany's come that I'm like, it's Tiffy time, and she is freaking so talented. And I'm like, oh yeah, 100%. I would have been okay with Tiffany winning. I wouldn't have had a problem. Dragon Viper, what was your thoughts on the match?
I really thought it was a good match. I mean, I agree that you know Tiffany. I know it's interesting, but I feel that Tiffany showed that she can, you know, be a top star and go for that title on a more regular basis. You know, I was glad to see Bayley win it. It was like what you guys said. She had just won the belt. They're not going to take it immediately off of her. But yeah, I feel she is a top star and she could eventually, you know, get the belt anytime. So really good match. And that's what I think.
All right. Big B.
No, it was a good to state that I would have liked to seen Tiffany Tiffany Stratton win it because Minnesota's been on a hot streak as of late, except for yesterday. And
Except for Mania.
Yeah.
We'll get to it later.
Later. You know, like you guys said, it made no sense to take it off of Bayley unless they would have got damage control involved to cost her the title and stuff like that. But yeah, it would have been nice to see Tiffany win. But no, overall, it was a great match. All three of these girls put on a fabulous show. And yeah, Ace, I'm with you. I think she is the future of women's wrestling. If not in WWE, then one of the other brands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. All right, Crispy Bacon, what was your thoughts on the match?
No, match overall, like I said earlier, I wouldn't be upset whoever got the belt, whether Bayley retained, Naomi got it, or Tiffany won it. It didn't matter. I mean, all three deserved it. Yeah, Bayley won it not long ago at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good match overall, I thought.
All right, and then Christy.
No, it was a really, really good match. I'm glad Bayley retained, but like you guys are saying, you know, I honestly would not have been mad at if either Naomi or Tiffany Stratton won the belt. And there were certain points in the match I feared Tiffany Stratton was going to have a wardrobe malfunction because of her gear. Oh Lord. Lord.
Wardrobe malfunction. What?
Yeah, it's like, don't tell that to mess around.
I know. I missed something. What?
I thought this was going to be watching the match. It's going to be like, what am I going to see?
This might be the only one that I would fight mess around over to.
Right?
Oh my God.
You can have her. I keep my girls.
All right. Well, I'm glad that we are all in agreement that Tiffany's the future. So I'm glad we are all in agreement on that. But and kudos because these three put on a phenomenal match. So
they sure did.
So kudos. Kudos to that. Absolutely kudos.
Thomas, you're not wrong. I think she could probably be the Money in the Bank.
Probably. And if Bayley is still holding the title by that point, I could see Tiffany cashing in on her.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the title she wants.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I do feel like. Yeah, I feel it. I definitely feel it.
Do you feel it?
Can you feel it?
I believe.
There's a hurricane coming through.
Our next one, Damian Priest versus Jey Uso for the heavyweight title. Now, I will tell you, going into this match, I did say, I was like, look, Damian Priest is going to retain. Damian Priest is going to win. I kind of knew that. But however, I'll tell you, there was like a few times in the match that I was like, maybe they're going to throw a little swerve out there and have Jey win. And the only reason I was thinking that at some points in time is because Jey is like so over that that it wouldn't have surprised me at all if they would have given it to Jey. Like honestly.
Yeah, and then the fans would have been mad because they would have got their way again.
I believe in Jey.
God, let's start this again.
So Dragon Viper, what was your thoughts on the Damian Priest and Jey Uso match?
Yeah, I like Damian Priest, so I thought he did a good job. It was a good match. I'm not so much for Jey Uso. Damian Priest is the man, and I'm glad to see he won it, but it was a good match.
Well, I'm not saying
2 in a row. Wow, I'm impressed. Dragon Viper like 2 matches in a row.
I believe so. I believe so. Exactly. He didn't have a choice. He didn't have a choice because I said that. He didn't have a choice. Well, this was honestly the match that I had heard the rumors that this is where Jacob Fatu probably would have intervened because Jey Uso was in the match. So that's where I could have seen it, and that's where I thought it was going to happen. But Big B, what was your thoughts on the Damian Priest and Jey Uso match?
No, it was a good match. I had no doubt that Damian was going to win. Not that I wanted him to, not that I wanted him to lose it, but I mean, I think all the titles have changed hands within the last month, so it made no sense to move them. Right. I could have saw not Bloodline, Judgment Day get more involved to cost the title from Damian, because I know there's been a lot of speculation that they want to kind of split them up, but they don't. So we'll see. But no, it was a good match.
I'm telling you, we are about to see a Damian Priest face turn here.
I think it's happening.
We're about to see a face, and I seriously think that Damian Priest is going to end up taking on Finn Balor.
No.
Yes.
Oh, it's happening. Yep. Take that for the thing.
Damian Priest is the bondage Undertaker, and then I thought that the Bloodline was going to interfere due to them staring Jay. Yeah.
But no,
yeah, absolutely.
I didn't think the Bloodline was going to interfere, but I did know Judgment Day was going to.
All right. Crispy, what was your thoughts on the match?
Good match overall. I mean, like y'all said, Damian was most likely going to retain. He just won, the championship not long ago at Mania. Jey Uso, he's so over that they're even playing his music at, I think, the Cleveland Cavaliers game.
I saw the video on social media. I'm like, whoa, that is cool.
His entrance for this match was really cool, honoring Bray Wyatt with all the fireflies in the crowd. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's so over, and he's doing good as a singles competitor, and I think eventually he'll win a title. I'm not sure when, but I think he'll get.
God.
Sorry. That's funny. That's funny. Priest versus Finn with Dirty Dom special guest referee, aka the Dragon Viper special.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
Sure.
No, sure, why not?
No.
The Ace freeze?
I think you froze.
He's on.
He's moving.
Oh, sorry. I was on mute. I meant to say, Christy, what was your thoughts?
Okay, I thought this was a really good match. Like you guys are all saying, Jay is super over. So over. His entrance music is being played at Cleveland Cavaliers games. It's so awesome. I did think Jay was going to win at one point, but Finn Balor and JD McDumbass showed up when Damian Priest told them, "No, I got this. Let me do my thing," and they didn't listen to him. So yeah, the disintegration of the Judgment Day continues. But overall, awesome match.
All right, thank you for that. Of course, Mr. Mess Around, what do you got for us?
Hey yo. Ain't nobody been on the Damian Priest bandwagon longer than this guy right here. That guy took that guy for his year a few years back. Told y'all he's gonna be big. And I'm glad he retained it, but they're like, I wanted Jay to win, but Damian just got the belt. Just like Bailey, they're not going to take it off him already. It was a great match. Yeet!
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 No.
Yeet!
Yeet!
No.
I'll be back in a little bit, guys. I got a vacuum.
Just think how the crowd would be if you got Jey Uso versus, Believe in Joe Henry coming in, facing off with each other.
Oh my
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Oh my God.
Wave your hands.
And then that would be the one Dragon Viper is a special guest referee in.
The Dragon Viper special.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
He's a special guest referee there. Don't you forget.
Special, right?
Everybody loses in that match then.
Did he game with us too?
What?
Can he count past 2?
Oh, yeah. That's a good question.
I wonder about that.
What
Oh,
happened?
jeez. I don't know.
Not sure.
Oh.
Well, no Ace. He's
Oh.
out.
I got it.
Oh,
No,
and Ace
I'm right
is
here.
back. Okay.
I'm right here.
No, let's see.
You're off
Messenger
screen
just
for a
decided-
second.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason it keeps pushing me back screen. I don't know why, but it keeps.
What's that jersey you're wearing?
Yep.
Oh no.
It is.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
well,
God.
drag.
You froze.
He froze.
Uh-oh. Again. Uh-oh.
I think he was going to talk about. Oh, wait a
I
second.
think we were gonna
but-
keep
Our Cowboys.
I'm back. I'm back. And I know
He's back.
Dragon Viper's laughing about that, but hey, I don't know why, because my team kicked his team's ass in the playoffs. So
Oh my God.
Revenge coming.
Oh God. Oh
He keeps reading.
yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I think we were
There
talking
you are.
about Uso versus Priest, and I think Dragon Viper wanted to get his opinion in on that one.
yeah, well, this was gonna be the next one, but it seems
Okay.
like my Wi-Fi is going in and out. So you guys go. I don't want to interrupt here. So Big B, go ahead and take over, and I'm gonna drop off, see if I can figure this out.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got the women's tag match. Chrissy, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts on that, I mean, really cool match, and Bianca and Jade winning. I think that was to be expected, but I've been hearing a lot of people complaining, like, "Oh, Bianca carried the match. Jade needs more work." I'm like, how much more work do you think this woman actually needs? She spent over 2 years in AEW building up a mid card title, and then comes to WWE, and you expect her to blow the roof off the place. That's not fair to her at all. Her working with Bianca, I think she can learn from Bianca, and them being women's tag team champions. I think that was pretty cool.
Okay, Dragon Viper, what do you think of the match?
Oh, you're gonna enjoy this, Big B. I didn't care for it very much. I didn't. I really didn't. And I wanted the Kabuki Warriors to keep their titles, but unfortunately, that didn't happen either. So, I didn't care for it. Moving on.
All right, mess around.
He's not there yet.
He's doing so.
Oh, not okay. Chris, what did you think of the match?
Good match. I thought that Jade Cargill and Bianca was gonna win it. Kabuki Warriors had the title for long enough. I felt like going in last year, last year to
I think so.
all the way to Mania. They had it, and then they lost it here.
Yeah.
I think it was time to switch over.
Yeah.
And they kind of felt like, I think Jade Cargill is going to be a big star. And this is going to be one way of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think this was the right move. These two girls are over, big time right now. I was reading a report. I think it's Cargill had a concussion, they're saying, so that's why she wasn't really with it right now. But again, this we got to think that these girls right now they're not the Tiffany Stratton, they're not the Alexa Bliss. They're trying to mark these girls as just, especially Cargill, as a powerhouse. So that's gonna be something. But I'm glad the girls won. Kabuki Warriors, if they would have won, that would have been good. But I want to see the chance for Kane just to see how. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Bianca's
something.
Well,
somebody else put on there little
fettuccine.
So Blair needs a heel turn. I think we are going to see one after they lose the titles.
Right. There's another one. Little fettuccine said before that. What's next for Damage Control now? I think they're another
Ooh,
faction.
that's a good one.
That WWE's going to break up. I mean, I think Io Sky, has entered into the Queen of the Ring tournament right now. So
I don't know who the participants are. I know they talked about King of the Ring a lot, but
Io Sky is part of it. Ivy Nile, Natalia. I think there's a few others. I don't know. Those are the names I can think of off the top of my head.
Oh, yeah, Thomas. Exactly. Thomas, said it perfectly. She was concussed and still was able to pull off the finisher. Yeah.
Yeah, the Jaded, she's flipping Kyrie around to get her in the correct position to pull the move off. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm like, God damn, that's an amazing feat of strength she pulled off there.
Yeah. Yeah. Both those girls have
oh my God, guns on those two. Jade,
Io and Natty tomorrow night, Thomas.
Yes, that's the one I was referring. Yeah, Io and Natalia.
Okay.
So Queen of the Ring, and that's going to accumulate in whoever's going to get crowned King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia.
In what, 3 weeks?
Wow,
2 weeks,
about that.
3 weeks.
Wow. I hate it when they do that.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. So
yeah.
All right, Chris, you got the next match up, or what was the next match?
The next. Let me get him up. I believe it was the. Was it the main event match?
Yeah, it was Cody Rhodes and AJ.
5 matches.
All right.
There's 5 matches on the Backlash.
All right, Jacob Viper. So since you said that match was boring, what's your thoughts on the main event?
I absolutely enjoyed this match. I thought it was incredible. I thought that this match was a stellar A+ match. I like the fact that Cody, retained the title. I had a feeling he was going to. But I enjoyed this match. So A+ right there.
All right, Chrissy, your thoughts on this match?
Absolute banger of a match. I mean, Cody and AJ put it all out there. Crowd was on fire, so behind both of them. I mean, even so much so they're singing their songs as they're making their entrances. I mean, oh my God. And that super Cody cutter from the top rope. I love that part of it. That was fun.
Yeah, Chris, your thoughts?
Yeah, good match. Like we said with all the other or most of the champions, he just won it, and they pushed for this, for Cody to win it for 2 years. They're not just gonna, pull the rug underneath him and let him drop the title right now. Yeah. I think he's gonna hold on to it. Maybe SummerSlam. I'm just guessing. I really don't know.
Probably.
But I'm thinking that it's gonna be a little bit.
I mean, this was a good match. If they were going to make a quick title switch on the recent crown champions, this would have been the match I thought it would have happened, because there's so many different reports that WWE thought he'd get over more, which I believe he's over as much as possible.
Oh, yeah. Super over.
There's a lot of people backstage that don't think Cody's can be the face of the company. So this would have been the match I thought they would have had a quick title switch on. I'm glad they didn't, though. But I mean, great match. I thought maybe AJ could have won via DQ or something. It would not have shocked me, because he's we've seen a lot of backstage issues with him, and kind of getting that heel heat on him backstage. So it would have been interesting to see a heel turn, more of a heel turn. I mean, I guess he is a heel. We all need to learn.
So
playing that song, those maniacs were
yeah.
So AJ did something.
So basically, with that song, it has to do something with the word phenomenal, and
AJ's new. AJ's new theme.
Right. So when it's mentioned, they sing that song.
And then Little Fettuccine. My opinion is I feel like Cody and the Bloodline shouldn't be on the same show.
No, I don't know. I mean, they should be on the same show, but they should not interact with each other. Like, let the Bloodline build their own thing with Solo, Tama Tonga Loa, and just let them build that up.
Well, the thing is I think they. I mean, they're gonna. I mean, they got to have them interact something to kind of get the revenge, on Cody for beating Roman. So
Right.
Yeah.
So
then Roman could show up and be like, what are you guys doing?
all
I'm
right,
the head of the table. I'm the tribal chief.
So
yeah, that's the whole thing. I mean, the bloodline. I think Tim Hendricks alluded to it earlier. Kind of like a NWO split here. You got the OG NWO, bloodline versus the new
Let's see if I can
bloodline.
find it. I found it. It's Bloodline Black and White versus Bloodline Wolfpack.
Yeah. So I think that's
kind of
what
what
they're
this.
going with it.
Yeah.
So we saw this past week too that WWE did their draft. What, in your guys' opinion, was good about the draft, or what's your thoughts on the draft? So, Chrissy, we'll start with you.
Okay. First of all, wasn't that impressed by the draft, even though I did like seeing Carmelo Hayes get drafted to SmackDown, and he did get to have a main event match with Cody later on in the night. So that was cool. But other than that, I kind of wasn't too impressed.
Okay. All right.
There were a few NXT call-ups that surprised me. So.
My opinion, I thought I was not impressed. It was a waste of time on most of the draft picks because they pretty much just used it for most of the guys to stay on the same shows. So, I mean, if they had done a little more swapping around with shows, whether if it was Raw, SmackDown, NXT, it doesn't matter. If they did a little more swapping of shows with these guys and not just kept all these people on the same show, it would have been better. But because they decided to do, waste all these draft picks on keeping them on the same shows, I mean, I could see a few, but it seemed like most of it was they were all on the same show. So it could have been so much better.
Yeah, the champions. I think the rule was the champions were protected, so they were not.
The champions were protected.
I get the champions, but the others.
Yeah.
But the only champions that were not was the women's champions.
Yeah.
They were not protected. I mean, it was cool seeing the legends come out, make draft picks. Even said the general managers make their picks too at the end. Good for the NXT call-ups, that got drafted. There wasn't,
Davenport,
I don't think,
Ilya Dragunov.
there wasn't as many as last year. I don't think. I did hear something about trades before tomorrow,
might be.
I didn't see anything at this point. There's talks that there's going to be trades, but a lot of it I heard was just mainly they felt like they had good rosters even then, and they wanted to protect who they had already. That was the main thing going into the draft. But it was okay. I mean, maybe you keep 4 or 5 wrestlers on your roster and then send the others away to Raw or SmackDown. But.
True. The NFL draft was more interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the draft is a semi-decent good concept. I think they need to get NXT involved. I think they need to. I mean, if they really want, to do a fair draft, I think Dragon Viper, and I hate to say this, is kind of on the right point. They need to let everybody get drafted. I wish there was a way for them to just, and I know they could, just not bring out the cue card out there that we know, okay, they're given the pick, or even, have a trade, involved,
or what you
picks for, this wrestler, stuff like that.
Kind of like an NFL draft day trade, sort of.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Or you can have like, say your men's champ, your women's champ. Okay, you pick who you want to face in the future.
Yeah.
And you can do that with the women's side too.
Yeah.
Tag team.
Yeah, I think they could have done it up a little bit different somehow. Make it more. I mean, we're not done. We know they are booking stuff months in advance.
Yeah.
stuff
And then,
like that. So
and then what you could do is, the wrestler can say, "I want to trade,"
Mhm.
and you can go, "Okay, that's fine." Under one
yeah,
condition,
I mean that's
you
something
beat
that
this
people think
wrestler,
about.
Yeah.
but you can have a stipulation. You win your match, you get traded.
Right.
You
Yeah,
don't, you stay where you're at.
Right.
yeah. They need to
Something.
tweak it just a little bit somehow to make it more believable on
Yeah. Well, I think the
how they're
reason the
running
champ,
things.
yeah, no, I think the reason the
So
champions got protected in this case because if you look back at last year's WWE draft, NXT lost both their women's NXT
yep,
champion and Indy Hartwell and lost their women's tag team champions in Alba Fire and Isla Dawn,
yep.
and people were not happy about that. So I think WWE decided all champions are protected to avoid that mistake happening again.
Yeah, exactly. The champion should be protected.
Right.
Unless they say, okay, I'm going to vacate my title to be put in the draft. So,
right.
well, with that being said, guys, Chris, I know a lot of people have been waiting for this. All right. We're going full screen.
Here we go.
So, you guys know, watching this show, talking to me on Facebook and stuff, I'm a big wrestling fan. Been waiting for the announcement. It came Derby Day. I gotta say, I don't know who to blame on why Minnesota did not get the WrestleMania next year. I'm putting the blame on WWE, even though I know they did. They're going to want to do best for business. The people that put out the rumors that Minnesota was the front runner all year long and stuff like this, it's going to be announced soon. You guys need to slow that stuff down. I put a lot of blame on Minnesota itself, the legislative and stuff like that, because you guys, sorry for what I'm going to say, dicked around and let Vegas jump in, which I can't blame Vegas on. Vegas saw an opportunity. They jumped in. It just sucks getting this dangled carrot in front of you now twice in the last 5-6 years since U.S. Bank has been, built. They were supposed to do it before the Super Bowl. It got pulled. They do it again for almost a whole year. We've been talking about this. WrestleMania comes, no announcement, and then Vegas gets involved. It's just like, so I don't know why Minnesota didn't act quicker. There's so much talent that has come from Minnesota. To me, I know Minnesota's known for hockey, the state of hockey. To me, it's the wrestling state. I mean, there's so many people. Backlund, Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin. We talked about Tiffany Stratton. Over in AEW, you got Top Flight. You got people that have come through to be trained here in Minnesota. Hogan, the Rockers. There's so much people that have come through Minnesota, has ties for Minnesota. I don't know what WWE is thinking. Granted, yes, I know it was a business decision. No, I'm not going to boycott WWE. I grew up on it. So it's not even that. I know people are going to message me later and be like, well, if you don't like it, stop watching. I'm not stop watching. I love wrestling. It's just the fact that this has been, like I said, dangled out in front of us for almost a year. We talked about it almost weekly leading up to WrestleMania. And it was a big kick in the stomach to me as a fan. I know my son's upset. It's just, I don't know what to tell the legislative people, but, a lot of people are saying, oh, it's the weather. It's the weather. Guys, there's a thing called a roof on the U.S. Bank Stadium. So the weather's not going to play a factor like it did in Philly or it did a few years ago when it rained at WrestleMania. So there's a roof on there. So weather plays no factor in it. To me, a lot of this blame goes on the Minnesota legislative, people, representatives that just, like I said, dicked around and just let Vegas come in, swoop in. Thomas, I know you're in Vegas. Good for you guys. I hope you guys have a blast. When it comes to Minnesota, if it does, I will go. I mean, it's been a dream of mine. It's on my bucket list. So I just, it was a big kick in the face. I won't say what I post on Facebook because we're live, and I mean, I could have went a lot deeper, but I know you guys, kind of reached out. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, but it was just a big kick. I mean, there's so much talent that came in WrestleMania. That Hall of Fame could have been big. If Vegas wanted to host the WrestleMania, what? Thomas, you can check me. This is the third time Vegas held the WrestleMania. Do it on WrestleMania 45. Give them the big WrestleMania on 45. Go to them on 50. I just don't know why. I know it all started back when we had the slap across the world. So, but that's okay. Second one. Okay. So, but yeah, to me, I got kicked in the stomach hard, and it felt like I was getting beat up by everybody. I just don't know what to think anymore. So, but that's my bent. Chris, you can pull up everybody else. So guys, Chrissy, I mean, what did you guys think of the news? I mean, was it obvious that it wasn't going to be Minnesota, or I mean, what did you think?
I thought it was going to be Minnesota at one point, but then I started seeing reports that it was kind of flipping and flopping between Minnesota and Vegas. I think, unfortunately, I hate saying this, but Vegas, it makes more sense because it is the fight capital of the world. And I think Thomas said it best. TKO wanted to come to Vegas. If Vince didn't sell, then you probably would have gotten it in Minnesota. But I'm UFC and everything going on. It's. I mean, and
it makes sense. I mean, Vegas is right now the hottest thing going around. I mean, they're getting everything over there. So I totally get the business side of it.
Right.
But the whole thing is just getting dangled for the whole year, and then just to get that slap in the face. Dragon Viper, you know what? You know what
I hated about it.
In the face. So, what's your thought?
For your sake, I wish they had gone to Minnesota for you. I don't ever worry about it because they never really come to Oregon for something big. So
they only come to Montana for live events.
I'm not so worried about Oregon, but I honestly think that if they had mentioned they were going to go to Minnesota, they should have stayed with Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I see it on a business standpoint that Vegas was a good choice, but on a fan standpoint, for your sake, I don't think that was very fair that they even mentioned Minnesota to begin with, and then decided Vegas. So,
right.
I mean, I see it, but for the business, but I don't see it as a fan standpoint.
Same here.
If they weren't going to do it in Minnesota, they should not have even mentioned it to begin with. Because not only you, but you have other fans over in Minnesota wanting it to happen. And then it got taken from them.
Yep. It's like you dangle the carrot in front of them and then you snatch it away.
No, exactly. And that's the whole thing. Is, I remember a time when my son was younger, probably 2, 3, and he wanted this stuffed animal, and my wife let him hold it all through shopping. Then she took it away. And it's just like, really? You just let him carry that through the whole store, then you took it away at the last minute because you didn't want him to have it, or he threw a fit or something. It's just like, that's just unfair. So, Chris, I mean, Dallas had the Super Bowl, had the World Series. Oh, God.
Super Bowl. We did have a Super Bowl.
WrestleMania a few years ago. They haven't seen the Super Bowl, or they've seen the World Series in Texas.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But you guys had the WrestleMania there, and it must have been a good turnout. You went SmackDown the Hall of Fame. I mean, what's your thoughts?
No, it was a turnout, and we're waiting for another Super Bowl, for a host city.
Did you mean WrestleMania?
Well, no, WrestleMania too, but that's down the road. But I mean to host another Super Bowl. Yeah. But I'm saying a second one, like LA's doing, and a bunch of others. But we had that blunder. I think what happened was WWE wanted Minnesota. Netflix was like, that's not probably going to get the ratings. That's what I'm guessing.
Las Vegas.
I don't know.
I mean,
And
it
it sucks
whole
either
thing
way.
it's going to get the ratings because it's WrestleMania. It's the granddaddy of them all, as they say it, and you know, people are going to show up. Yes, okay, the outside weather, you know, possibly could have been snowing, but they moved it to later, I believe.
Yeah, like
Easter weekend 2020.
Overall, as a fan, I'm more mad at Minnesota, you know, dicking around with it. I mean, you know, WWE, TKO, they had to do a business decision. They know where the money's at. Yeah, the money probably is going to be more over in Vegas, you know, especially if they book it with The Rock and Randy, or Rock and Cody, or Roman and Rock, or you know, stuff like that. So I mean, yes, you know, Vegas right now is the hotbed. Of course, you're going to want to go there. You're going to get the celebrities, you know, stuff like that. You know, and everybody's like, well, next year will be our year. You know, honestly, who knows? You know, I didn't believe the rumors at first because it was taken away at once. But then the rumors started getting stronger. It started getting closer to WrestleMania. We all knew WrestleMania was the time they always announced it. They did announce it. It's just like, okay, hold on here. So,
like, what the heck's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, even our legislative conference to talk about some other things. We have one big event coming that we can't announce yet, but it'll happen sometime next year in April or May or whatever. It's just like, or March. And it's just like, okay, you guys are getting close, and so
just do like Cowboy fans do.
I mean, yeah,
we'll win it one year. We'll get it one year.
I mean, I'm still going to go in June when they come here, Monday Night Raw. I'll still go to SmackDown if it comes. I'll go to NXT when it comes. I'm not turning my back on WWE. I know some people have already said I'm done with them. I'm selling my tickets and selling my stuff.
People are mad they didn't get what they wanted.
You're more mad at the legislature than you are.
Oh yeah, like I said, there's three pieces of pie to split this up on the blame, and WWE is a little bit of part to blame on it. The people that spreaded all the rumors that got our hopes up, they're part to blame. But the big part is definitely the Minnesota legislature because they just let Vegas come in and swoop them in. So it is what it is. But all right, guys, so let's go around final thoughts. Dragon Viper, we'll start with you.
I want to thank everybody for watching and commenting and being part of the show. And I hope everybody has a good night and a good week coming up.
All right, Christy.
Well, thanks for watching, and just keep watching Coast to Coast for more awesome content coming up.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching and tuning in. I think NFL schedule releases this week.
I think so.
But
rumor.
Should be fun. They did their little, end of the year release where they released who was going to play, and I think now it's going to be NFL release of the full schedule. But we'll definitely probably have a show, break down our teams. C2C Rankum will be on Wednesday. I got some stuff going on Tuesday, so me and Tim will do our Rankum on Wednesday. States, we're going to do famous people born in the state, not where they're from, born. So, and one last time, just for
time is so good.
With that being said, Ace, I hope you get your internet connection up and going. With that being said, we'll see y'all next week on Between the Ropes. Have a good one.